Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at one of the most nefarious things we've probably ever taken a look at here on the channel. Like, this is absolutely insane. I think you can read from the title what exactly we're taking a look at here today. So, recently a woman was arrested for throwing a man's mom's ashes into the river because of a dispute that they had had over something probably not even really that important. I mean, you know, I understand, right? It seems like those little petty disagreements in your relationship or whatever are a lot worse than they actually turn out to be a lot of the time, but in a situation like this, man, it just is never justification for doing something like this. It's just literally ridiculous to even consider this in the first place. Like, not even to go along with doing something like this, but to legitimately even consider doing something like this is actually insane. I mean, trust me, I've had my fair share of disagreements with people, I've had my fair share of problems with other people, but never once have I ever in my life considered going to their house, finding a dead relative's urn somewhere on their property or something, and then just going and dumping their family member's ashes out into a river. Like, you actually have to be a terrible human being to even consider this concept, right? I didn't even honestly know people did things like this, right? I thought people settled their disputes in much different ways. I thought you either talked it out or fought it out, right? But instead, apparently, people are out here dumping urns out into the river. So I caught wind of this entire situation from a pretty viral TikTok that has sparked a lot of debate on the internet. And okay, so this TikTok here basically depicts a woman dumping somebody's ashes into a river due to him quote-unquote cheating, right? So this sparked a lot of controversy primarily on Twitter. There were people debating on whether or not it was acceptable to do something like this and whether or not it was a just punishment for someone cheating on you. And it seems like the vast majority of people were in agreement that it was basically just something you never do regardless. Like, this is just completely over the line. This is something that you don't even really consider. So first I'm going to show you the TikTok here and let you guys get a little bit of a picture of what we're talking about here. Because it really kind of opens everything up. Keep in mind, this isn't the full situation. This is only realistically the introduction to the whole thing, so make sure to stick around and stay tuned for the rest of the video so you figure out what actually happened in this situation. So go ahead and roll the TikTok and see what's going on. So obviously this woman dumps an urn full of ashes into the river because apparently her boyfriend or whatever cheated on her. Apparently that's the best way to get somebody back or to, you know, handle this kind of situation. Because obviously, you know, why break up with somebody? Why would you go through the effort of just simply ending/terminating a relationship that isn't working out for you when you could do some absolutely nefarious shit that is just way over the line and doesn't solve any part of the problem and only serves to really antagonize somebody to do worse to you? Because if somebody like dumped my mom's ashes into the river after she passed away, it's pretty much all bets off at that point. Like, that's a legitimate declaration of war for most people. I feel like you can't take it to this extreme, you know? That is literally an irreplaceable item. You are never going to get those back. Once it's in the river, it's spread out too much and rolled down the water too much for you to ever get that back, you know? It's not like it's a baggie or something like that that you can just, you know, go and scoop up, which even then you probably would never find that. Like, this is just so far over the line, you know, and it's not even a line I think that needs to be drawn. I just feel like, as if you're a decent human being, you shouldn't even have to cross this line or think about crossing this line to begin with. So keep in mind though that this isn't the entire situation right now. Everybody on Twitter and on social media thought that this was real, right? They thought that, you know, this was the controversy right here, I guess, but actually it turns out that this was just a reenactment/prank/skit, whatever you want to call it, that was filmed for TikTok that actually is pretty related to a similar incident that unfolded just less than a month ago now that somehow didn't go as viral as this TikTok. So, a Fort Worth woman has been charged with abuse of a corpse after throwing her boyfriend's mother's ashes into Lake Worth, police said. According to the Fort Worth Police Department, the suspect, 40-year-old Augustine Gladney, threw the ashes belonging to 38-year-old Ernest Smith's mother into the lake on Monday evening. Police said that Smith informed officers that when he returned home on Monday shortly after 7 p.m., he discovered that his mother's urn was missing. So, first and foremost, yes, this is real. This is being covered by a local Dallas news organization, and apparently this is a situation that was so real that the woman got arrested and her mugshot even was released. You can go ahead and see that here. She's crying very clearly, which is pretty ironic because, you know, you wanted to be fucking tough and you wanted to be cool and dump somebody's ashes into the lake and whatnot, someone's mother's ashes, I should say, and you thought that that was sweet and you thought it was cool to cause that kind of emotional trauma on somebody, but now you want to cry when you get arrested, which is just so ironic, man. And I know this is going to be a little bit unrelated, but can we all agree that this woman looks like Bangalore from Apex Legends? Like, she deadass just ulted somebody's mom's ashes into the lake. Like, that's actually insane, bro. So yeah, this is real, and this is a situation that led to the police getting involved, and obviously this woman was arrested. I didn't know that you could be charged with abuse of a corpse for, like, vandalizing someone's urn, but honestly, that's a good law, because there was just a poll on Twitter that said, hey, should it be a crime for this kind of thing to happen? And, well, I didn't know, but this is actually already a crime. So this woman ended up getting charged, but I just want to say, like, for real, like, to level out a little bit here, can you imagine coming home, right? You know, you're having a good day or whatever, you just want to kind of relax at the house, and you look up on the mantle or whatever, and you realize that your mom's urn is missing. Imagine the fear and the drop that that guy felt when he realized that his mother's urn was no longer there. The amount of emotional pain that this guy is probably going through in this situation is actually so terrible. Like, I feel so bad for this guy, because once again, this is a completely irreplaceable item. It's not like you ever get a second mom. You can't just go to Walmart and buy a new mom or anything like that, right? It's pretty much something that you're never going to get back. So obviously, for a lot of people, having like an urn or some sort of ashes or remembrance of a dead family member is pretty much the only connection that they really have left to that person. So by doing something like this, you're basically destroying someone's only connection left to one of their most important family members. I mean, your mom. It's not like this is just, you know, your fifth cousin or somebody. This is your mom. Honestly, how do you think she would like it if someone went to her house and threw her dead mom's ashes into a lake or something like that? I can only imagine that that probably wouldn't go over so well. Smith told officers that he overheard a phone conversation between Gladney and her daughter, who was at their home at the time, police said. According to police, Smith heard Gladney tell her daughter over the phone that she threw the urn in the lake. Police said Smith informed officers that he was unable to make contact with Gladney until almost midnight on Monday evening. So it just kind of seems like she shows no remorse for this whole situation, right? Like, she threw the urn into the lake and basically destroyed this guy's connection with his mom, who, by the way, is now dead. And she just feels no remorse. Like, she's on the phone talking about it just casually, as if, you know, that's just something you bring up in a phone conversation, right? Hey, what's going on, sweetheart? How was work? Oh, my day? Yeah, it was great. Actually, I just threw this guy's mom's ashes into the lake and destroyed the connection that he had with his mom. So I guess you could say I'm having a pretty good day. Like, that's just absolutely insane, man. So honestly, I'm just gonna straight out say it. Like, I'm kind of glad that she got charged in this case, right? Like, because this is something just, it's so fucked up. I mean, you literally can't take this back, you know? There's not a lot of things that you can take back, but this is one of the ones I think that is pretty severe, right? Like, this is actually an insane thing to do to somebody. So it's good to see that she got charged with abuse of a corpse, because obviously that woman did not deserve to be dragged into the middle of whatever dispute that they possibly had. Not that any dispute that they possibly had could have justified her ever doing something like this. I mean, this is somebody who very clearly needs some mental help or something, right? Because I just can't see any normal person being able to go with something like this and think that it's a good idea and, like, even go through with doing it, right? It's one thing to think about doing something, it's a completely another thing to actually do it, and we're talking about someone who actually did it in this instance. So obviously I'm gonna think that most of us are gonna agree that this was completely messed up and irresponsible. So with that being said, though, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Facebook at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, not throwing your mom's ashes into a lake, and signing out.